I welcome you to the second lecture of this welding process series. My name is Divyanshu Pandey. I've done my master's from IIT Kanpur. I'm having 3 years of teaching experience, currently working under a TechE project as an assistant professor in Engineering College, Jhalawar. It is only second lecture of this welding process. In first lecture, we have discussed about the introduction of welding process, and we have also seen the different type of classification. We have seen the classification of welding process. So from today, in today's lecture, what we are going to see what are the weld preparation we need to do before performing welding operations, and what are basically the electric discharge type which we require for performing welding operation. And if time give us permit, then we will also look into the power sources which we use in welding process. So these are the things which I'm going to cover in first lecture, today's lecture. So let's begin with welding weld preparation. So in previous lecture we have seen, if you if you remember, the last thing we have discussed in the previous lecture about the weld joint and all. So today we are going to discuss about the preparation which we require before joining two kind of plates in a welding operation. So why this welding preparation is required? So what happens when we want to join two different plates together? There might be possibility of some kind of rust, grease, or misalignment between these two plates. So to remove all these kind of impurities and grease, oil, and all, we do a certain amount of preparation, and also for proper joining and in strength, we also need to prepare the joint. Okay, so there are a certain kind of joint preparation which we do in welding operation. So here I am describing about the butt joint. So what is butt joint? If you join two plates horizontally like this, those are known as butt joint. Okay. So in case of butt joint, we see these kind of edge preparation. If your seat is very thin, well, then we see simply use a square kind of uh, joint shape. There is no need to grind it. We can simply join it, okay, by only clean after cleaning. Now, let's say your seat is thick between up to 16 mm. Then we need to make a shape like this V shape, and this is known as a single V kind of shape, and this is used for welding operation. Seat which is having thickness up to 16 mm. Now let's say you have a very thick material, and which thickness is more than 16 mm. Then you will go for this double V. And again, if the thickness is more increased side. So what you are going to use? You are going to use double U kind of uh, preparation. Okay. Now one can ask that why this? If you are increasing this width of your seat, then why don't you use only this double V? Why you go for this W kind of weld preparation? So if you see in double U, what happens? Uh, let's compare these two types, double V and double U type. So this is your joint. If you are going to make a preparation of V kind of, so this your joint will look like this. Okay, so I'm just going to explain a certain concept by using a single V and single U only. And if you understood this concept, then you will be able to know that why we need double U for more thick portion rather than double V. Okay. So this kind of preparation we do, and we also leave some amount of space between these two plates at the bottom. That is also essential. Okay, so in this way we do U preparation, and this way we do preparation. So for strength purpose, we need to leave a certain amount of space between the lower surfaces of these two plates. Okay, so if you see this V joint, so what you can notice that if we are filling material here, so your material will be filled like this. Okay, this is your, let's say, your filler material, and let's say this is your neutral axis. So if you see above neutral axis, you we will see more amount of metal, and below this neutral axis you will see less amount of material. So what happens when you do welding operation? This your filler rod get melted and get there over this empty space between two plates, and because of this difference in this area, you can see the difference in area or volume, you can say. So there might be possibility of distortion because the cooling rate of this upper portion of this neutral axis will be different, and the cooling rate of this lower portion of the this neutral axis will be different because the area is different for both cases. And in such cases, there might be possibility of distortion and all. So that's why we opt U kind of joint, U kind of preparation for any thick sheet or thick plate. The problem is to make this U kind of structure, U kind of grind surface over a plate is a little bit difficult as compared to uh, V joint. But if you want sound welding, and if we don't have any kind of limit of cost and all and time, then we go for U joint. And if you want just want a joint and we don't care about much about distortion and all, then we go for V joint because the preparation is very easy as compared to U joint. So to avoid any kind of distortion, and if your welding is sophisticated and it is a thick welding, then obviously we will opt U welding. And if the thickness is more than 20 mm, then we will opt double U welding. Okay. So this is the case, and this is the scenario. And you may ask that how you can say that in U welding, U kind of preparation, there is no distortion at all. So let's draw a neutral axis in this U kind of joint. So if you draw a neutral axis line in this U preparation, you will notice that the area above this and area below this almost same. So there is no big difference between the area of this upper portion of the neutral axis and the lower portion of the neutral axis because this is a shape of a U. So okay, it is almost similar. Okay, almost similar. So that's why the case of distortion and all that defect will be very less in case of U kind of preparation. That's why we prefer U preparation. Okay, and this was all about your butt joint. Now, what is lap joint? So lap joint, we know that we have seen in last lecture that if two plate overlaps with each other, that is known as lap joint. So in lap joint, what happens if the thickness is very small? Then we don't need to prepare any kind of edge and all. We just clean the workpiece and two seat and just do the welding over the edge. Okay, so it is written here, lap joint are used to join thin sheet, usually less than 3 mm thick. These joint do not need any specialized preparation. These joint is produced by fillet weld. Okay, so fillet weld we have seen in last lecture, but we are going to discuss this, what is fillet weld and what is butt weld. So we will see in next slide. So you see in lap joint the thickness of metal is not very thick. It is all about 3 mm thickness. Okay, so that's why we don't need to prepare the edge like this, which we do in butt welding. So you can simply perform the welding over the edge. So this is what we do in lap joint. So now I have mentioned some diagrams here, some diagrams here, and you need to write down the kind of weld we have done to join these two different pieces. So let's start with first piece. Actually, in last lecture, during the at the end of the lecture, we have seen this slide, but I think in that lecture you might feel that the things were not completely defined. So today again I'm going to discuss this thing. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to name the kind of weld we perform to join these two different sheets. So let's start with this first example. So in first example, you can say this is a butt joint. So joint तो हम देख के बता सकते हैं this is a butt joint, but we want to write down the weld, which kind of weld we have done. So we have seen that in case of butt weld, we need to do edge preparation. तो यहाँ पर आपको दिख रहा है कि we have done some kind of edge preparation, और ये horizontal, the joining is a kind of horizontal, that's why it is butt joint, and we have done edge preparation, that's why it is butt welded butt joint. Okay, now let's see the different example which is on the right side of this first. I mean this one. So here you can see this is a kind of T joint. Okay, this is a kind of T joint. We have seen what is T joint. If you join two sheet perpendicular like this, if you make a structure like T, then it is known as T joint. So in T joint, what you are doing, you are not you are not preparing any kind of surface which you do in butt welding joint. You just find out this space between these two sheets and apply a fillet by using your filler rod and all, and this fillet join these two perpendicular sheets, you can say. Okay, so we do not prepare, we do not grind these surfaces, we are not grinding it at all, but by only observing this diagram we can say, that we have done a welding over this edge, and because of that welding, a fillet appear over here, and by observing this diagram only we can say that we have done fillet welding here, and that's why this combination can be written as fillet welded T joint. Okay, in the same way, if we see this the second diagram here, this one. So here also you can say that, sir, we have done here a fillet welding here, and we haven't done any kind of weld preparation, or we haven't grinded at all anything. So that's why it is also fillet welded butt joint. Okay, butt joint. Why it is butt joint? Again, the thickness of these two pieces are different. That is okay, but again, this is joined. We are joining this two plates like this. That's why it is also butt joint. Now you see this second example here. यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे, so you will see this blue thing, basically your filler material. So filler material is filled beneath your this vertical seat. It means we have done some kind of preparation here. We have grinded this material, and we have removed a certain amount of material from this vertical plate, and then after we performed a welding operation, and after that these two plates have been joined, and such kind of welding is known as butt welding. Okay, butt welding. एंड द ज्वाइंट इज, ये जो ज्वाइंट बन कर आ रहा है उसे क्या बोलेंगे, उससे तो आप टी ज्वाइंट बोलेंगे ही, बट जो ज्वाइनिंग ऑपरेशन आप जो कर रहे हैं वो अ काइंड ऑफ बट है। यहाँ पे फिलेट नहीं दिया है आपने, जो प्रिपरेशन किया था, यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड अ surface here, and that surface is prepared for butt kind of welding. That's why it is butt welding. Now if you see this third example, what is happening here, a fillet is also there, a butt kind of weld is also there. That's why this such kind of welding is known as compound welded butt joint. In the same way, the this T joint, you can see this part don't need any kind of preparation. This is fillet, basically. This is fillet, and again this grinded part, the material which we have removed by performing grinding and some operations of this vertical seat, this part. Okay, so here you can say that butt as well as fillet, both kind of welding is happening. That's why this is known as compound welded T joint. So this slide is just for giving you insight of this butt and fillet welding. Such kind of question will not till now. If you go through previous year paper, we will never see such kind of questions in previous exams and all. This slide is just added here to give you insight what is butt welding, what is fillet welding. And since we have completed one lecture only of this welding process, so that's why I'm not coming up with the previous year questions. As we complete our second lecture, which is today, after that I'll start solving the previous year questions also. सॉल्व करने के लिए पहले थोड़ा पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि विदाउट going through some concept and ideas, we will not able to solve all those questions, previous year questions. So that's why I'm going to cover a certain amount of theory classes till this today's lecture, and after that we will go with the previous year questions, and जितना ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन हो सकता है उतना हम सॉल्व करेंगे, like we did in casting process. Okay. Now we need to know some terminology of welding. This is essential, very important if you are going to study the designing part and all of the welding process. So हमें जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है वो वेल्डिंग का पता होना चाहिए. तो यहाँ पर कुछ टर्मिनोलॉजी जो मैंने आपको यहाँ पे स्कीमेटिक डायग्राम से रिप्रेजेंट करा है, आई हैव आल्सो रिटन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द टर्मिनोलॉजी. तो फर्स्ट टर्म यहाँ पर आता है व्हाट इज वेल्ड बीड. तो व्हाट इज वेल्ड बीड? वेल्ड बीड क्या होता है? सो वेल्ड बीड बेसिकली व्हाट इज वेल्ड बीड? जस्ट वेल्ड बीड, ये जो डेफिनेशन है वही होता है कि अ वेल्ड बीड इज अ वेल्ड डिपॉजिट प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय अ सिंगल पास, ठीक है, विद वन ऑफ द वेल्डिंग प्रोसेस. ठीक है. अगेन लेट्स से दिस टू मेटल यू वांट टू ज्वाइन. लेट्स से दिस टू मेटल, ये वाला आपका वर्कपीस नंबर 1 है, ये वाला वर्कपीस नंबर 2 है, इसको आप ज्वाइन करना चाहते हो. Okay, then what you will do, you will prepare this surface like this and you will यहाँ से आपका एक welding torch आएगा. ठीक है, certain gap आप maintain करोगे and you will move this welding torch in this direction. Okay, so जो भी यहाँ पे weld आपका deposit हो रहा है, whatever you are depositing your molten material, okay, so वो molten material यहाँ पर जब आएगा, when molten material come with contact with this surface, that molten material will get solidified. Okay, and that solidified deposit is basically known as your weld bed. So what is weld bed? Weld bed is a weld deposit produced by single pass with one of the welding process. ओके, तो आई थिंक ये चीज आपका क्लियर होगा कि वेल्ड बेड क्या होता है. तो आपको सिंगल पास में जो आप यहाँ पे पास कर रहे हैं, तो उस पर जो भी डिपॉजिट हो रहा है यहाँ पे वेल्ड मटेरियल, वही सॉलिडिफाई होने के बाद वेल्ड बेड कहलाता है. आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर. Now what is weld pool? Pool का मतलब आपको समझ रहा है. Pool means this connects with some kind of molten state of your metal. So pool कहाँ पे होगा? Where liquid there should be presence of liquid. That's why you can call something a pool. So इसीलिए यहाँ पर क्या होता है? Amount of liquid metal between two surfaces before solidification. Okay. So दो surfaces, there are two surfaces which you want to join. Again these two surfaces and you just uh, you just passes this welding torch along this line, and this filler metal get melted and fill this cavity, this prepared cavity. And what will happen then? This filled cavity along this line, the filled cavity along this line, this is known as your weld pool. So amount of liquid metal between, जो इनका amount है, जो liquid metal between two surfaces before solidification, before it converted into bed, is known as bead. It is known as your weld pool. ओके. अब ये जो वेल्ड पूल है, ये जितने डेप्थ तक पेनिट्रेट करता है, दैट इज नोन एज योर पेनिट्रेशन. सो इट इज द डेप्थ अप टू विच फिलर मेटल कैन बी पेनिट्रेटेड इनटू योर base material. So pool is also made of your filler material. Again, the amount of depth which is covered by this your filler material or your molten material is known as your bed penetration or simple penetration. So this is your solid diagram of this is the side view of this diagram, and you can see this is the shaded area is basically your weld bead. Okay, and this is your width of the bead का जो भी width है वो है, और the distance, the vertical distance is known as penetration, bed penetration, and that bed penetration is measured from the surface of your material, not the from the surface of your weld bead. जो बेड का है उसका सरफेस से नहीं, वेल्ड का मटेरियल जो दो सीट है उसके सरफेस से हम मेजर करते हैं वेल्ड बेड. ओके. Now the upper surface you can see some kind of protrude surface here of this weld bead, and this protrude surface, the height of this protrude surface from this base of the seat, from this the surface of the seat, is basically known as bed height. So this is somewhat terminology which you need to know, and this is all about butt joint. So in the same way, we need to know different terminology for fillet weld also, and some other known things which you can observe through this diagram are heat affected zone, root, and fusion zone. So what is heat affected zone? What happens when you use filler rod and when you use this welding torch to perform welding operation? All molten material get placed over this area, and the heat transfer take place. And where the heat transfer takes place, heat goes through this material. Okay. So the the surface which comes into contact with your molten weld pool, okay, that surface absorbs the excess heat which is in your molten filler material, and because of that absorption, the microstructure, all the arrangement of grain changes of this neighbor surfaces. Okay, तो होता क्या है कि जब आपका when you do perform welding operation, so यहाँ पे जो weld pool होता है उसका temperature ज्यादा होता है, and heat transfer takes place along this direction, and the nearer surface, the neighbor surface or the nearer surface absorb the heat, और जो बाकी का जो दूर का सरफेस है वहां पे उतना ज्यादा टेम्परेचर नहीं होता है, बट यहाँ पे जो नियर बाई का सरफेस होता है उसका टेम्परेचर ज्यादा हो जाता है, and because of high temperature the granular structure of that material gets changed, the arrangement of grains get changed, and because of that property of this heat affected zone is also different mechanical property as compared to your base material. So that's why this affected zone is known as heat affected zone, uh, where the microstructure property has been changed uh, because of this heat. So ये आपका heat affected zone हो गया. Now this is your weld metal, जो the this filled portion which is between your prepared surface is known as weld material. The bottommost, you can see the bottommost surface of this weld is known as root. The bottommost surface is known as root. Now, what is fusion line? Fusion line is the line which differentiate the molten form of your metal and the solid form of your metal. So this pool is in molten state, and this remaining surface of the sheet is in solid state. So this fusion line just differentiate this molten metal and this solid portion of your parent metal. Okay. So these are the terms which you need, which are essential to know before going through all welding processes and welding concepts. तो ये चीज आई थिंक आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा। और होता क्या है कि वेल्डिंग के नीचे कुछ एक्सेस मटेरियल तो आ ही जाता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर कुछ हम स्पेस छोड़ देते हैं रूट के नीचे, और वो जो मटेरियल एक्सेस आ जाता है उसको एक्सेस वेल्ड मेटल बोलते हैं, और जो ये स्पेस छोड़ते हैं दैट इज नोन एज रूट। हम नीचे जो सरफेस होता है दो सीट के बीच में, बेसिकली वी डू प्रिपेयर टू सीट लाइक दिस। Okay, so we leave some kind of space here, and this lower portion is known as root. Okay, and because of this left space, some material get enter into this portion, and they make shape like this protruded shape beneath your parent sheet, and this protruded weld is basically known as excess weld metal, जो कि हम बाद में ग्राइंड करके निकाल देते हैं, और कहीं कहीं यहाँ पर हम सपोर्ट प्लेट भी लगाते हैं. In some places we use support plate, in some places we don't use any support plate. So now for fillet joint, we want to know the welding terminology, or the different names which we use in fillet joint. The same which we have seen in case of butt welding. Now we want to see the same kind of nomenclature for fillet joint. So this is look at this diagram which is shown here. So sequence wise, some names are mentioned here. We will go through each name, and we will try to understand then that what this name actually means. So first one is written here is leg. So in this diagram you can see this shaded line is showing this name one, which is leg. So what is leg? Basically leg is the length of this weld pool, which is adhered over any one of this metal sheet. So let's say this is your first number of metal sheets, this is second number of metal sheet. So length up to which this molten bed or your welding pool is adhering over this surface is known as leg. So basically theoretically we consider this weld bed as a symmetric, and we say that this length and this length, this 1 and 2 is same, so it means the leg size will be same for this both seat. Okay, so this is the length. So if somebody asks you what is length, so the answer which should come in your mind is it is the length of this weld pool which is adhered over your metal seat. So this is known as your root. Sorry, leg. Now the second point is what is root. So root, as the name suggests, root is the basically the farmost point of any weld bed in a fillet joint. Okay. So what we say, this is your face of your weld. So this three is your face of weld, the point number three, and the point which is at farmost position from this surface, from this face surface, is known as root. Okay, so you can say the farmost position is two. This point is the distance of this point two is the longest from this surface. So you will say this is your root. Yeah, this is your root. Okay, for this fillet joint. And now we know what is face. Face is your surface. Face is your weld pool surface. Okay. Now what is toe? So this weld pool, the point at which this weld pool meets these two seats is known as your toe. So this point is toe and this point is toe. The toe point is represented by number 4 here. You can see in this diagram. Okay, so these 2 points are known as toe. Now what is throat? So throat is the longest distance. Throat is the, or you can simply say, though throat is the shortest distance. Initially, I was saying in a wrong way. So throat is the shortest distance between the root and your weld face. So again, I am repeating this sentence because this throat part is very important. If you are going to design any kind of weld joint at all, because this is the weakest area of any weld. So what is throat? Throat is the shortest distance between your root to surface. So if you say, if you go through this, if you just follow this definition, then you will say this. Let's say this point is 2 and this point is 3. So you will say this this line, the red one line, is a throat. But theoretically we assume this this corner where these two metal meets, and we draw, since it is very difficult to measure the distance over this curved surface, so we simply replace this curved surface as a straight line. So this hypotenuse line, hypotenuse you can see here, and this hypotenuse is between these two leg. Okay, so this is hypotenuse, and we simply consider the shortest distance between this point and between this hypotenuse. So ये वाला जो पॉइंट होगा, जो मैं अभी, अगर मैं लेट मी यूज अ डिफरेंट कलर हियर, let me use let's say yellow one. So this yellow mark is basically, yellow line is your theoretical throat. So this is your theoretical throat, and this is easy to find out for your theoretical part and derivation. So in theoretical and in design aspect, we consider this yellow line as your throat length. But practically, what we say, definition wise, what we say, it is the distance shortest distance between your root and weld surface. So weld surface एक curved surface होता है, which is not easy to find out a particular point, and ये length measure करना इतना difficult हो जाएगा. तो for simplify करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, we consider a hypotenuse. और hypotenuse क्या होता है, दोनों लेग के बीच में होता है, और उस hypotenuse से जो आपका रूट है उसके बीच का shortest distance है, उसको हम theoretical throat बोल देते हैं. और जो रूट होता है बेसिकली, वैसे तो रूट थोड़ा सा ये वाला कॉर्नर वाला पॉइंट भी मेल्ट हो सकता है, बट वी एज्यूम दैट this point stays like this and no fusion takes place here, because there's very little chance that farmost point, क्योंकि ये आपका वेल्ड का farmost point है यहाँ पर, अगर देखिए तो यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे, ये वाला पॉइंट जो है यहाँ पर वैसे फ्यूजन प्रैक्टिकली हो सकता है, बट हम मान लेते हैं, लेट्स से फ्यूजन इज नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस एट दिस पॉइंट. So for theoretical calculation of throat, we just consider this point as your root, and we replace this curved surface as this straight line, and we just calculate this shortest distance, and this shortest distance is nothing but theoretical throat. Okay, so I think these five terms which we use in fillet joint is clear for now. Now let's move further. तो अभी तक हमने देखा till now we have seen that different kind of joints. In first lecture we have seen the definition of welding, classification of welding, and today's lecture we have seen the preparation of welding. वेल्ड करने के पहले जो हम प्रिपरेशन करते हैं, और हमने ज्वाइंट वगैरह भी देखा कौन कौन से ज्वाइंट्स होते हैं. देन वी saw different terminology which we use in welding. So basically we are just knowing the we are just try to know the all characters which we need in welding chapter. So once we become familiar with all this character, then we will move for the core part of this welding, which is your power characteristics and different kind of welding things, which we will cover in upcoming lectures. So after knowing this whole character only, we will be able to solve previous year questions. So that's why I have not added any previous year questions, since this is only second lecture. So till we will try to cover up some portion, some theoretical portion, so that we will able to solve some previous year questions. So अभी आप लोग इतना ऐसे घबराइएगा मत कि sir is not solving any previous year questions. So basically we need to know some aspects, some theoretical aspects, so that we will able to solve the question. अब बिना पढ़े ही ऐसे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे तो आपसे लगेगा ही नहीं. ओके, तो पहले थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेते हैं, फिर वी विल सॉल्व प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस लाइक वी डिड इन कास्टिंग प्रोसेस. सो अब हम देखते हैं कि भाई वेल्डिंग के लिए नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट arc welding. So arc welding, in arc welding we should have if you see the discharge, there are different kind of discharge. So which kind of discharge is essential in arc welding? So वो चीज हमें पता होना चाहिए. So मैं यहाँ पे कुछ आपको डिस्चार्ज के बारे में बताता हूँ बेसिक. तो basically there are three types of discharge. So first one is high voltage low current. The second one is medium voltage low current, and the last one is low voltage high current. So we will see that which kind of discharge is suitable for welding process. So in first high voltage low current, what we saw, this is not sustainable at all. So यहाँ पर जो स्पार्क प्रोड्यूस होता है यहाँ पे, और वो सस्टेनेबल नहीं होता है. ओके, तो वेल्डिंग के लिए पहले तो हमारे पास सस्टेनेबल डिस्चार्ज होना चाहिए, और यहाँ पर तो स्पार्क प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है विच इज नॉट सस्टेनेबल. सो दिस इज नॉट डिजायरेबल फॉर योर व्हाट यू से वेल्डिंग ऑपरेशन. ठीक है, तो दिस वन इज योर, this is not desirable. Now the second one is medium voltage low current discharge, and this is known as glow discharge, and this is somewhat sustainable, but the problem is the heat which is produced in this discharge is not enough to melt any metal. So that's why it is also not a good option for performing welding operation. So इसको भी हमें skip करना पड़ा. Okay. Now the third one, which is low voltage high current. So we saw that in this the discharge is sustainable, and heat is also sufficient to melt down your metal. So this is this kind of arrangement we require for what? For performing welding operation. बट हमने अगर आप इसको ध्यान से देखें, तो यहाँ मैंने क्या लिखा है, जो लो वोल्टेज है वो आपका 10 से 50 या यू कैन से 10 to 80 वोल्ट इन सम प्लेसेस, 8 to 10 to 80 वोल्ट, इतना वोल्टेज हमें चाहिए होता है, और करंट कुछ मल्टीपल ऑफ एम्पियर्स में चाहिए होते हैं. So now we will say in our daily power supply at our home or at any other place, we receive power supply as 220 volt. So it is not easy, it is not possible to use the direct supply for welding operation. तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा भाई, हमें कोई ना कोई एक तरीके से कुछ अरेंजमेंट यूज करना पड़ेगा. दैट अरेंजमेंट वी नीड टू यूज व्हिच कैन reduce your 220 volt up to this limit. After that we will be able to perform welding operation. मतलब क्या है कि हमें पावर सोर्स यूज करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, in welding operation what we do, let's say this is your welding torch and this is your workpiece, over you want to perform welding operation, and this your torch is connected with some power source it is, and this is your complete circuit, and you maintain a certain amount of gap here, and after that only spark will be produced. So the main supply which gives power to your your power supply which you are using. So main supply is coming with 220 volt, okay, and few amperes, 2 3 4 ampere, let's say. So this is your main power supply. So what this power source will do, this will reduce this voltage in in the range of 10 to 80 volt. ओके, एंड इन एम्पियर में क्या होगा, फ्यू एम्पियर्स में ये इसको कन्वर्ट करेगा. ओके, okay, so this is what we need, okay. Now what is this power, what kind of power source do we use for converting this 220 volt into 10 to 80 volt, ये जानकारी होना हमें जरूरी है. okay, this information we need to know. okay, so we will study about different kind of power source in further slides. ये हम देखेंगे आगे जो भी पावर सोर्स की जरूरत है. तो बट हमें इतना समझ में आ गया कि भाई हम बिना पावर सोर्स के, विदाउट हैविंग एनी काइंड ऑफ पर्टिकुलर पावर सोर्स, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू परफॉर्म वेल्डिंग ऑपरेशन. क्यों नहीं परफॉर्म कर पाएंगे? आपको आंसर क्या देना है? इन नॉर्मल पावर सप्लाई, नॉर्मल जो आपका सप्लाई लाइन है उस पर वी रिसीव पावर एट 220 वोल्ट, एंड वी हैव सीन दैट सस्टेनेबल डिस्चार्ज only occur between this low voltage range, and we are not receiving this low voltage range through our main supply. So what we need, we need a kind of arrangement which reduces this power supply to this limit 10 to 80 volts, so that we will be able, so that we can perform welding operation. So for this thing we need power, our desirable power source. ओके, अब ये पावर सोर्स कैसे होंगे, कौन सा होगा, यही हम आगे अभी डिस्कस करेंगे. तो अभी तो समझ में आ गया कि हाँ, पावर सोर्स की जरूरत तो पड़ेगी हमें. विदाउट दैट पावर सोर्स वी विल नॉट एबल टू परफॉर्म वेल्डिंग ऑपरेशन सिंपल अपने मेन सप्लाई के थ्रू. okay, now what are the power sources which we use in welding operation? Those power sources are mentioned in this slide. So first one, we basically ये पहले यूज होता था, वेल्डिंग जनरेटर्स और मोटर जनरेटर भी इसको बोलते हैं, मोटर जनरेटर. सो होता क्या था पहले, जब इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं होती थी, नाउ डेज वी हैव अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एवरीवेयर, बट long time before, when electricity was not available at every place, then at that place we used मोटर जनरेटर. सो मोटर जनरेशन बेसिकली आपको फोसिल फ्यूल्स या फिर गैसोलीन वगैरह से चलता था, एंड दिस मोटर जनरेटर यूज टू प्रोड्यूस एसी और डीसी एज पर यूजेस, ये दोनों को कन्वर्ट कर सकता था. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ काइंड ऑफ पावर सप्लाई इन द रेंज ऑफ, जो मैंने आपको पहले बताया था 10 to 80, इसी रेंज में ये सप्लाई करता था. तो ये एसी और डीसी दोनों के लिए यूज होता था. नाउ डेज सबसे ज्यादा हम यूज करते हैं वेल्डिंग ट्रांसफार्मर. सो वेल्डिंग ट्रांसफार्मर इज यूज फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग एसी करंट, and this AC current is between 10 to 80 वोल्ट, और इसके लिए ये वाला रेंज होता है, और इसको हम फिर वेल्डिंग ऑपरेशन के लिए यूज करते हैं. Now welding rectifier is also a power source, and this basically converts your AC supply into DC supply. तो ये आपका DC supply में convert करता है, and this is also used for DC kind of welding. Inverter is also a kind of power source which uses to produce DC supply, and DC is used for DC kind of welding. तो ये आपके चार पावर सोर्सेज हैं जो यूज होते हैं आपके वेल्डिंग ऑपरेशन में. सबसे ज्यादा इसमें हम, आपने जो देखा होगा इन योर वर्कशॉप, you might have seen this welding transformer. This is mostly used and easily available, and more or less in every workshop, जो भी आपने स्टूडेंट जो पढ़ते हैं वो अपने वर्कशॉप में इस पे हैंड ऑन प्रैक्टिस तो करते ही हैं. Okay, so these are the welding sources which we need to know, that which kind of welding sources we use for welding operation. Why do we need a welding source? ये भी हम power source ये भी हमने देख लिया. Now moving towards power source, first of all we need to know that what is open circuit voltage. Okay, so after this slide only we will start with different kind of power sources. So first of all we need to know what is your open circuit voltage. So let me draw a schematic representation of any welding process. So this is your welding torch. Again I am drawing a same kind of diagram. Okay, this is your power supply, power source. Okay, this is your power source. Circuit is complete, and this is your gap. And let's say I am using a voltmeter here. Okay, now try to understand. Just listen carefully. So let's say at initial condition there is no spark is produced between these this electrode. Let's say यहाँ पर electrode है, this electrode and your workpiece. There is no spark is produced. So what will happen? यहाँ पे जो वोल्ट मीटर में उस समय जो रीडिंग आएगी, that is known as open circuit current. open circuit voltage. So open circuit voltage means when there is no load is connected to the output terminals of the welding power source, then at that condition, the voltage which is appearing in this voltmeter is known as open circuit voltage. And what is this load? What I mean by this load is when the spark is generated, this circuit will be connected, and some voltage drop will take place in this region, and that thing is written here as load. Okay, so now I think this point is clear. When this spark is not generated, at that point, the voltage which is coming in this voltmeter is known as open circuit volt. Okay, now this value of this open circuit volt is higher as compared to welding voltage. Now we will ask, what is welding voltage? So welding voltage, when we start welding operation, when this production of a spark initiated, after some voltage drop may take place, will take place at this position, and this amount of voltage, जो ओपन सर्किट वोल्टेज है, वो थोड़ा डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे सर्किट कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, स्पार्क प्रोड्यूस होने लगेंगे. ओके, so after that only your the voltage will reduce, and the voltage which is displaying in this voltmeter during welding operation, that is known as your welding voltage. या कहीं ना कहीं हमने लिखा होगा open circuit voltage in this case, in case of rectifier. ओके, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है however welding voltage are lower as compared to open circuit voltage. तो मैंने आपको बताया ये क्यों कम होता है. ओके, सो आपको पता चल गया व्हाट इज. अब आप यू कैन आस्क दैट व्हाई दिस ओपन सर्किट वोल्टेज इज हाई एज कंपेयर टू दिस वेल्डिंग वोल्टेज. सो अगर मैं अब इफ यू डोंट कीप दिस ओपन सर्किट वोल्टेज हाई, देन देयर विल बी प्रॉब्लम इन द इनिशिएशन ऑफ स्पार्क. जब यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस एवर मतलब मोर देन एक सर्टेन अमाउंट से ज्यादा होना चाहिए, जो जो यहाँ पर इमिशन होगा इलेक्ट्रॉन का, एक थ्रेशोल्ड, हमको थ्रेशोल्ड वोल्टेज होना चाहिए हमारे पास, जो कि ड्राइविंग एलिमेंट काम करे, जिससे कि यहाँ पे जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है उनका इमिशन स्टार्ट हो सके. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई ये जो ओपन सर्किट वोल्टेज है उसकी वैल्यू ज्यादा होती है, तभी यहाँ पे स्पार्क प्रोड्यूस हो पाएगा इजिली. अदरवाइज वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू प्रोड्यूस स्पार्क, इनिशिएट स्पार्क बिटवीन दिस और इस आर्क इन बिटवीन दिस टू योर इलेक्ट्रोड एंड वर्कपीस. So that's why we need high open circuit voltage, and also it helps to stabilize our arc. ठीक है, तो ये चीज essential है, ये सारी चीजें आपको पता होना चाहिए regarding open circuit voltage. Now we know about open circuit voltage. Now we will start with different kind of power sources. And after coming to know about power sources, there is DC power source हो गया, AC power source हो गया, क्यों कहाँ यूज करते हैं, ये सारी चीजें. And after going through these power sources, then we will start talking about the characteristic of power sources. So if you have studied this topic before, then you might know that there is a constant current kind of power characteristics, constant voltage kind of power characteristics. So we will cover that part after covering this power source topic. Okay, so in next lecture we will start with your power source topic, and after completing this power source topic, we will start with your power characteristics. Okay, so thank you all for attending this lecture, and I'll say, if you are liking all these lectures and this series, so do subscribe our channel, and spread all this information and our channel among your friends. Okay, thank you all.